Hello, welcome back to Wanderlusting Lawyer, or maybe welcome for the first time. It's Kate here, along with Biscuit. Look how big my kitten got. Look at this kitty cat. Oh my lord, I've never had a cat in my life, and now I'm obsessed. So yes, I just want to show you the last time you saw him, I think was in February. He's the sweetest ever, but he likes to be a little naughty too. He's just a little sleepy. He was napping. I got him in for this video. There we go. There's a little naughty boy. So here's Biscuit, and I'll show you Cashew before I launch into the video since I know it's been a while. Come here, Cash. Come here. Oh, come on. Let's see everybody. Let's say hello. Here's my Cash. He's got his new turtle bandana on. He is still just the best pup ever. My best buddy. Helping keep me company today as I was trying to plan several videos. I want to make sure I can record a bunch of them since I know it's been a while. Life's, had me up and down. And I don't think I have any Caminos that I'll be able to do this summer, which is just like obviously a disappointment and makes inspiration a little bit more challenging and has me asking, is my channel still relevant? Is anyone going to care what I have to say when I haven't even been in a while? Thanks for joining us, Cashy. You might see him jump up again because it's starting to thunder and he gets really scared. But, I've been promising I'd make videos about the Camino Inglés. There still aren't that many of them out there on that particular Camino. And you know what? I do enjoy doing this. I think I have unique insight and a unique voice. And so I'm just glad to be back in the space. And I figured I'd start off with a pretty spicy video just to kick things off. I'm sure there will be some differing opinions on this, but and yeah, it's a little bit of a clickbait title, so forgive me. But basically, 7 items you could not pay me to take on my next Camino de Santiago, plus one bonus one that I'm sort of hit or miss on. So, in my videos, I like to often push back on conventional Camino wisdom. I feel like a lot of whether it's videos or blog posts or things out there sort of just seem to recycle the same information, and I can't tell if the writer actually believes that or is just trying to generate content. I'm not like that. I would probably have a lot more videos and subscribers if I were. But these are just my tried and true opinions. I, for some credibility, have done 3 Camino routes: the full Francés in 2018, the Aragonés with a little bit of the French Arles route before that in 2021, and then the Camino Inglés in 2023. So I believe in what I say. I don't just say it to generate buzz. But yeah, so item number 1, leggings. You could not pay me to bring leggings on a Camino, like athletic leggings to walk in. And it just was actually what inspired me to make this video. Was the other day, I'm in Florida. It's now just miserably gross outside all the time, so hot and humid every day. And I was walking my dog, Cashew, that you just saw right after I got back from a workout. So I was still in my leggings. And it was so oppressive, I could not handle it. Like even long, loose pants would have been better than leggings. And I actually made a video about this. It's one of my more recent videos, but kind of like what bottoms pilgrims wear on the Camino. And I was, I think 85 to 90% of the time in shorts, and then pants on a few days where it was chillier, or if I thought there was going to be a chance that my legs could get scratched by overgrown brush or whatever. I could not walk in leggings. I know there are a lot of people that disagree with that, and a lot of women walked exclusively in leggings. Even some men said they wore, I think, like on cooler days, like hiking, kind of more thermal leggings under shorts. Maybe if it were cold and I needed an extra layer, but I'm talking like 30-degree Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius or less. I just couldn't do it. Too hot for me. So I highly advise you, if you're thinking about bringing leggings, make sure you've hiked outside with a heavy pack in heat and humidity with them before you put them in your pack. And I feel like they tend to be heavy. I have super lightweight shorts and pants, and the leggings are probably 2 to 3 times the weight of those. Number 2. Ooh, this is a spicy one. I can't wait to see the comments. So Compede. feel like the most conventional wisdom out there for blisters is Compeed. Put Compeed on immediately. And I guess I will say to that point, if you can catch a blister before it even starts at all, if it's just like a red kind of rub spot on your skin, maybe in that case, Compeed does the trick. I have never been able to do that. By the time I know I have a blister, it's already starting to form. There's liquid in it. And Compeed, and the few times I've tried to use it, is the worst for that. It doesn't prevent additional, in my experience, additional friction once there's already kind of the liquidy bubble of a blister under there. And then if you try to take it off before it's ready, it rips the whole skin off. So I just maybe I'm not understanding how to use it right, and that's on me. But I have found that works a lot better, and I've made entire blister videos on this. So just go, search on my channel and you'll find them. But what I find works better are the once a blister started forming are those corn cushions. They kind of look like little donut pillows. And I bring a tiny pair of like sewing scissors in my little toiletry kit or first aid kit. And so you can cut it more to fit whatever the size you have going on, or even cut them open and kind of put them around. But I find that that provides a nice cushion around the blister that separates your shoe from the blister itself. And that's really for more like friction blisters on your heel or whatever. I've talked a million times about pinch blisters that I get on my pinky. Those don't really help there. There are other things like toe separators that do work better. But yeah, you're not finding me bringing Compeed again anytime soon. Oh, this is another good one. I think this might be my most controversial one. Oh, sorry, there was just thunder. So if you heard that, a hiking pack that is less than 36 liters. My first two Caminos, I had a pack that was 36 liters, and it did the trick, but it was challenging to get things in and out every day. I felt like every morning I was shoving things in, like just spending more time being able to pack it up than when I would have just preferred to be walking. And I have said this so many times. I am somebody that I don't overpack. I bring everything I need, plus maybe one or two extra things that I may need them, or I can help out another pilgrim in need. And this has happened to me multiple times. I mean, I remember giving a hiking pole to somebody to use on a very muddy and slippery descent into Leon on the Francés. Inglés, it was really chilly on the last night. And as I was able to give my towel that had already dried to another pilgrim to use kind of as a blanket. I had a travel blanket and she didn't have anything. She had like a tiny little pack that had almost nothing in it. So, all of that to say, I, on that Camino, had switched to a 50-liter pack. It was basically the same weight as my smaller pack, but it was so much nicer to pack and unpack. It had really unique, well thought out pockets where I could put like snacks for the day or just things I needed to grab quickly. And it didn't require me to pack and unpack everything each day. So I would love a pack that's maybe like 42 liters and had some more well thought out pockets than ones I've seen. But for right now, I'd probably stick with that 50-liter pack on my next Camino. All right, number 4, sports bras. Ladies, I know a lot of people say they walk in sports bras, but I'm telling you, there are hybrids out there that clasp like a regular bra, but don't have underwire, are very sportive. They wear more like a sports bra, but you are not having to like wrestle them on, over on and off when you're sweaty or just out of the shower. I will not bring sports bras. The one exception is like a more kind of casual one for evening wear or whatever. But for walking, I won't bring sports bras. All right, next up is pajamas. And I've made a whole video about what pilgrims use as pajamas. What I mean by that is not that I would sleep in the buff. And I would imagine people do. I haven't seen that. I've seen many small undies. But what I mean by not bringing pajamas is I wouldn't just bring items that only can serve as pajamas. And in my video where I talk about this, I say I bring like a very, very lightweight little pair of shorts. I think they're Patagonia that are super comfortable to sleep in, but also can double as just popping around town shorts or little swim shorts or whatever I need them for. And then an extremely lightweight, like athletic tank top. So again, I can wear that at the end of the day. I guess I could even wear it for hiking, but I don't wear tank tops because of my straps of my pack. But just multi-purpose items that are comfortable to sleep in, but that don't take up weight in your pack, only as pajamas. But I do know this is a luxury item for people, and if that's the case, no judgment whatsoever. I just have different luxury items. Okay, number 6 is a water bladder, probably another controversial one. So these are like the kind of, I don't know what the material is, but kind of like the envelopes, bladders that you put water in, and they either go like inside the back of your pack or there's maybe a separate pouch. But all the ones I've always seen have always been in the back of the pouch, the back of the backpack, the part closest to your back. And you guys, I don't care even if there's a trampoline back when it is warm out, and even if it's not that warm, Galicia especially can be super humid. And if you're like me, if you're a sweater, I mean, that is the warmest part of your pack. So not only does that bladder not keep any water cold anyway, right? That's not particularly good insulation from the ones I've seen. It has the heat coming off your back. That's like warming it throughout the hike. Just not at all making for a refreshing drinking experience. So again, have made videos about this. My go-to combo now is the super lightweight hydro flask water bottle, and it's like very, very lightweight and keeps water really cold. So if you're lucky enough to even get some ice in there or at least start with it cold, it will stay cold better than any water bottle I've seen. Plastic water bottles just baking in the sun all day. And then the tube kind of water straw tube hybrid system. The one I purchased all those years ago is no longer available on Amazon. I have seen other ones available. Maybe I'll pick up one and test it out and see if it's the same quality. But it basically creates the drinking tube benefit of the water bladder, but then you has different size caps that screw onto your water bottle, so you can have water very easily accessible, but it stays cold in your bottle. You don't have to reach around to grab the bottle. So really, really best of both worlds. Probably the best thing I bought for the Camino. Okay, and then the last one is makeup. And maybe you're laughing, but I've seen a lot of women with makeup on the Camino. And I don't say this at all to judge. If you want to bring makeup, go for it. There's, that's the least, the least of anyone's worry should be if you bring makeup or not. I always say this is your Camino. You should do whatever you want to make yourself happy and comfortable. I will just encourage you to think about leaving it behind, and I speak from personal experience. Before I did the Camino, so I'm a pretty natural person. I don't wear a lot of makeup unless I'm going maybe out for something fancy, a wedding or something like that. But before I did my first Camino, I was really self-conscious about like my skin tone. I was dealing with a little bit of like blemish issues and whatever, and so I would wear foundation every day for work. Whenever I would always wear foundation. I didn't like going out of the house without just a simple foundation. Um, and then on the Camino, I didn't bring it. And not only did my skin start to clear up, but I like really felt confident in just seeing my natural face. And, it kind of changed something in my mindset around feeling like I needed to put that on every day. So yeah, I mean, just think about it. Like if you can leave the weight behind, or maybe take a BB cream, right? That has a tint to it and has SPF and can be a multi use item. Or I was thinking about this because I was like, what are other good compromises? Even just like a little foundation stick for like under eyes or any blemishes. Cause sometimes when you're sweating a lot, sometimes you can, like, there were phases where my skin cleared up, and then there were also times, I think it was more the mask era, where sometimes I was dealing with some unfortunate friends on my face that would pop up. But another thing you could bring, and I just looked at this, and I think there's a travel version on Amazon. I'm going to try it out. Is like a tiny little eyelash curler, right? Like just a little something that kind of makes you feel good and fresh at the end of the day, but gets you out of old habits. So just the thought, just to ruminate on. And then I said I'd have a bonus item. And the bonus item that I don't think I would ever bring again is a written printed guidebook. One, they're just really heavy, and pretty much every resource you need, you can now find online. If you read Spanish, or I think you can probably even use Google Translate, gronze.com, Granz or Gronce is like a wonderful website that has so many resources. There are blogs, or if nothing else, get a guidebook and take 30 minutes or whatever and just take a picture of every page. And so that way, the night before, wherever you're going the next day, you read what's coming up. It's on your phone, assuming you're taking a phone. That is an assumption I'm making. But you have that information at your fingertips. This isn't me saying guidebooks aren't useful. I think they're very useful. And, for people that are super excited and are doing all the planning ahead of time, if you want to read a guidebook and make notes, like again, in your phone or on a piece of paper about unique things to see, like Sahagún, that's the halfway point on the Camino Francés, where a lot of people don't realize you can go get a halfway certificate, which is kind of fun, a little bit cheesy, but kind of fun. And so like I would have been sad to have missed out on that. But and I did have a book, and what was funny is that I ended up leaving it outside and it got rained on and ruined. And so then I ditched it about halfway through. And I don't think I'd bring a book again. So there you have it, my 7.5 items you could not pay me to take on another Camino. What are yours? What do you totally disagree with? What's something I forgot? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. Thanks, as always, for watching, and stay tuned because I will have some additional videos coming up. All right, see you soon, guys. And as always, muy buen camino.